Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you're listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our race co-host. To my left, it's the fight analyst, Dan Tom. Back east, producing Danny Otto. Sitting to my far right, it's Brad Tavares, UFC middleweight. What's up, guys?
What up?
What up, brother?
What's up, my friends?
Not much, man. Ready to knock another show out.
Yes.
But I haven't started my 2019 yet.
No,
you haven't?
I'm still in 2018.
Catching up.
And I think either Monday, I actually start my new year. And I'm not trying to be Chinese or Jewish. You know how they have a different one or something. I'm just trying. I just have a horrific shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Just from sleeping in an awkward position. I haven't been able to do shit, man. I really had it to just change a few things. I'm not going to go through the whole gym thing. Everybody does that. But just change a few things. Just start some new habits, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't get out of this funk. For one, I have to sleep on the couch just because I position my arm between these pillows. Because every position I move it in hurts. That and showering, man. I'm like, I'll do the neck tomorrow or whatever. My ass. I'm a joke, dude. I'm a joke.
I feel like a lot of people will do that. Like, I guarantee you go to the commercial gyms and Monday is that day.
I was there yesterday. There was a lot of people.
And was it crazy?
Yeah.
So yesterday I went to work out. I usually work out at EOS. Just, because I've been sidelined, so I can't do a lot. I can do a lot of cardio and legs. That's about it. But I went to the PI. I was like, you know what? I'm going to avoid that whole new year, new me resolution, blah, blah, blah. But Monday, I promise you, Monday will be insane.
Next Monday?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of people.
Why is your Monday? What's your reasons?
No, not for me. I feel like because you know how every New Year it's that first Monday of the New Year,
right?
Like not necessarily that next day. So New Year's Day was what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be Tuesday, and then Wednesday is like the hump day. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. They're like,
my buddies joke around the same way.
Let me finish the week.
You got to start on a Monday,
yeah,
right? And New Year's fell on a Tuesday. Nobody starts on and that's a holiday, so you got to take the holiday off. Nobody starts on a Wednesday, like you said. So yeah, but we'll see, man. I did walk the dog yesterday because the dog was looking at me, going, "My shoulder don't hurt." All you got to do is hold on to me, basically, and pick up my poop. So I was like, "You make a valid point." Now we walked when it was 30 degrees, and it dipped
freezing
to 29 at one point. East Coasters are like, "You guys are pussies," but it was cold. You know what I mean? I put on an extra layer, and I went out there, and he did his thing. He didn't even want to leave the neighborhood. Yeah, he just sniffed around, but he could tell. I was like, man, this is one of them nights. And he was ready to just turn back. Usually he can't wait to leave the neighborhood because then he knows we're going on different trails or something. But in this case, he was like, no, man, I'm good. He just sniffed around. We have a little mini park there. He sniffed around there. And I would have preferred he kept walking, but he was just sniffing, and I was starting to get cold. But anyway, we made it in. I gave him a nice little brush and stuff. Took a piece of rock out of his paw. I don't know how it got in there, and he wasn't limping. Yeah.
Oh, in between.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, look, I'm trying to shake off a few things, but this shoulder thing's bad.
Yeah. You think maybe cold weather?
My mom had that theory, but I thought it was an old Latina woman theory. Dentro el frío, you know, like cold got
Remember when I said that and you guys tore me
got
in
into your
pieces?
shoulder.
No, that's real.
Like,
That's real. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, maybe,
sounds
Mom.
like it.
I just think that I fell asleep like in an awkward position for too long, and I just strained a ligament or a tendon. Guys, last night I was sitting on the couch like this with my arms just going, God, this sucks. God, this sucks. I couldn't. Every position to lay down hurt. You know, no matter what, every little movement hurts. So
You
I
should
just
go see like a chiropractor or massage therapist.
well, it just started Tuesday, and that was a holiday. And I go, I'll shake this off. And then yesterday was Wednesday, and it's starting to improve. So, but even the leash thing, even his little pulling, because I usually use the left hand, I had to switch.
Which one's the one that hurt that?
Yeah.
Oh. Have you noticed your last 2 injuries have come from chilling?
Chilling?
Yeah.
That's what I noticed too. There's a common thread.
Remember
of
his
the
hip? You said
injuries.
that
the back
or your back was something when you were sitting on the couch and you just fell asleep.
You know what I need, flat out, is a new bed. Straight up.
Yeah.
I need a new bed. Except I always wanted to get a king size, and the room can handle it. It's just there won't be much room for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal was to always get a king when I get a new house.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to save up to get a new house.
Queen is the best.
In the meantime, my back and my
yeah, I feel like queen is fine.
King is
unless you have the space for the we have a king. I had the Cali King before, but I went with this time around.
What's the difference?
The Cali King is for like tall people. It's longer.
Oh yeah.
It's a longer bed. Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah. So I believe they call it the regular king, or the Euro King is like kind of squarish. It's super wide. Like it's crazy.
All I know is that when I stay at a hotel and I've stayed in a king, I'm like, hey, this is living here. It seems like you have room for your laptop. You know,
like
you
have room for activities.
Everything, yeah, activities. The fucking dog, whatever, man. It don't matter. Everybody's, can chill. But no, more than anything, I look, I can probably get by with a queen, but it's just that the bed sucks.
Yeah,
it flat out sucks.
The mattress
is just dumb. And it's older, and this one made it.
This is somebody else's bed, right?
This is Michael Chandler's bed.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
This is 6 years.
Michael Chandler, your bed sucks.
No, but it's your mattress on his bed, though, right? Or is it his mattress too?
I can't remember. We've done a little bit of.
Yeah.
This is getting all kind of.
This is getting weird, huh?
This is getting all kind of
weird.
weird.
You guys want to hear?
For those that don't know, I used to date Michael Chandler.
Definitely.
Before he got married, we had a
new bed.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear how I might be racist?
Power bottom.
How's that?
I want to hear.
All right, this is how this interview came about. I've ran into him twice in like the last 2 weeks, just at random places. When I ran into you at Albertsons.
Man, what were you doing at the Thunder Down Under?
I was trying out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
Hey, no, I mean, I've been sidelined. I've been injured. I can't fight, so gotta do something to make money. Yeah, I've been to Thunder Down Under. I've been to Chippendales. Just been making my rounds.
None of them biting.
Nah.
I was at Albertsons. I ran into you.
Yep.
But I noticed that within 24 hours, I had Hawaiian chicken.
Yeah.
And it didn't strike me as weird until I ran into you at Sam's Club the other day, which he scared the shit out of me, by the way. His truck is huge, and he honked it so loud, dude, and I was crossing the street. But anyway, I had Loco Moco, like maybe 20 minutes after I saw you,
so
and it wasn't planned.
Good reverse racism.
So what I think is, I see your face, and I just want Hawaiian food.
Oh, yeah?
That's what you represent in my life. So what I wanted to ask you was, any chance you had like a burrito or something the other day?
Bro, funny thing is that I made my own. So first, my new thing, I have a Salvadorian friend, and he turned me on to pupusas.
Oh, yeah.
That's been my new
Before that,
jam.
did he go?
South American Manapua.
El Salvadorian food.
Nah.
No, okay. No. I saw Training Day the other day, and that's how Hernandez gives Ethan Hawke his plate of El Salvadorian food.
Yeah.
No
it sounds
kidding.
so sexy coming from
I need to go rewatch that and see that
great
part.
movie, man. Great movie.
Have you guys had pupusas?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
But last night.
Where did you go?
There's Las Pupusas on LVB.
Nice.
At the outlet.
Oh, by the outlet. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
I love that place. That's the only place I've been. But
that's El Salvadorian food?
Yes.
Yep.
It's good.
It's really good. But I made my own like homemade. So my friend, I sent him a picture of my pupusas, and he couldn't get it because they were closed. This was New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to Taco Bell and ate a Mexican pizza, and it looked super good. So I made that last night at home.
Yeah?
Yeah, just some
Mexican pizza?
Yeah. That's
Did
not
you
even
ever
a
get
real
one of
thing,
those?
huh? That's like a Taco Bell thing. That's an American thing, huh?
Thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've had one. What's on the Mexican?
What?
It's like a tostada kind of, but
it is
stacked.
With what? Like
with
cheeses
another
and marinara
so
of any
no
kind,
no.
or?
So inside it's like they have like their own like type of tostada. It's like crunchy but yet soft.
Okay.
It's magic.
Hey, let me guess. Does it taste like everything else like on the Taco Bell menu? Because it's made with the same ingredients of the 5 things, but it's just rearranged differently.
How do they?
No, I'm
make
just
money,
kidding.
though? They have this
It's
dollar menu?
ridiculous.
Like, how do them and McDonald's? Do they just count on you going? I don't want that bullshit. Give me the real stuff. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like that goes back to not quality, it's quantity. It's so cheap. They're selling so much of it.
so you're like, give me 6 bean and cheese burritos.
Oh, yeah.
the dollar ones.
yeah.
I like their bean burritos, just their regular bean burritos, and their Mexi melts.
Oh, Mexi melts.
Those are good.
I love those.
But I really like their chili cheese burritos, but they keep getting rid of them. You can only get them at certain places.
Well, yeah, I feel like I haven't seen those since the 90s. When did they ever bring those back?
They brought them back for
He's
3
had 'em
months
since the 90s.
last year.
Probably.
Yeah, I went on a binge.
I'm glad I missed that. Hey, speaking back to pupusas, you had Manapua before in Hawaii. You a fan of that? Is that why you like the because that's what I associate it with. Like it's like their version of Manapua. And
really, I feel like the pupusa is more like
not the same,
like
but
a
it's
quesadilla, but like a thicker
what do they call it, masa or something like
quesadilla. The masa, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I tried. It's funny because back home, you patele, yeah? Puerto Rican food, patele.
Nah, not too much. Yeah, I a little bit
But
in New
you've
York,
had
but
it?
yeah, I've had it in New York, but
Uh-huh.
not out here, not anywhere else.
So I love patele. My family, my mom, my grandma,
Okay.
my auntie, they all make patele.
Okay.
And we're not Puerto Rican, so I don't know how they make such good pateles. But so I was talking about it, and then the girl, she said, "Oh yeah, we have our own pastele," and that's because that's how it's spelled, right? And that's I
Right,
guess how
right,
they
right,
say it.
right.
I don't know
Yeah,
if in
yeah, yeah.
Hawaii we changed it to patele, but maybe Hispanic they say pastele. That's
Probably.
yeah, because
I
that's
don't know
how
what
it's
you guys are
spelled.
talking
It's-
about.
Do Portuguese have it too? Because I have some Portuguese part of my. I don't know if you have Portuguese roots with
No,
your
that's
name,
what we
but
are,
yeah,
Portuguese.
that's what I was gonna say. I have Portuguese part of
Yeah.
my family. That's what. Yeah, they say
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, so yeah.
So, but they have their version of it, but it's
Okay.
It's really different.
Okay.
Really different than the
That makes
Puerto
sense.
Rican.
That makes sense. Yeah, 'cause I never really had it with them, but then I would have it if it was like at a restaurant or like certain places, but it's kind of more hipstery place. So I don't know if I was getting the real authentic Puerto Rican stuff over there, to be honest. So
So we're all hungry now?
pretty
Nah,
much.
I skipped breakfast, so yeah.
I ate a
I
nice
skipped
breakfast.
Hey,
What'd
oh,
you have? I'll live through you.
I had my go-to eggs and rice with.
nice.
Today was turkey bacon. I alternate. It's usually Portuguese sausage, but when I need to get like going quicker, because you gotta cut up the Portuguese sausage, cook it. I'll do like I do these like little cheddar smokies or turkey bacon. Today was turkey bacon.
That's what I'm doing tonight for dinner. I'm using I'm not turkey bacon, not healthy. I'm using the Black Forest Welshire bacon. Oh, it's bomb.
Sounds good.
If you ever want to treat yourself, it's they got it at the
I love real
they got it at the
bacon.
they got it at the Whole Foods there. But speaking of Portuguese sausage, man, I had a little bite of it. It was really good. Apparently, it's this like natural source from the Big Island, source pig from up there. But it's Portuguese sausage, and people swear by it. And my uncle just sent me some frozen, so I'm gonna go cook that up hopefully sometime in the next week. But I don't know. It's
Cook it up today.
Can I
nah,
continue
it's
to be a
frozen.
little
It's
racist?
frozen. I already defrosted the bacon.
Please do.
I had a conversation with Danny this morning. What happened with white people and breakfast? They used to be the kings of breakfast. Eggs, potatoes, bacon, sausage, pancakes. Now it's like, Cadence, come get your grapefruit. What happened to them?
I don't know.
They started a movement, and now it's like oatmeal.
Well, because the
this and
world-
that.
Always catered.
They
the
lost
world-
their way. We're just
The
thinking of
world
dumb white people names.
diversified, every city diversified. So you're right. Like when I was in school, I was one of maybe 3 Latino kids, and we have like 30 per class. There was 1 black, 1 Asian, maybe 2, and 3 Latino kids,
Yeah.
and straight up the rest. So we're all learning like, oh man, I want my mom to make a lunch just like them. This is like
Yeah.
first grade, you know what I mean? Like I had a burrito every day or something else, and I wanted my sandwich cut
Diagonally?
Yeah, diagonally,
crust?
not halfway. Or why doesn't my mom? You know what I mean? But now all the classrooms are way different.
true.
And so
It's
now
very
I
true.
think you just the white people are like going, damn, I didn't know you guys could do that. You know what I mean?
But
So
they used to own
everybody's
breakfast.
learning from everybody.
Here's what supports your guys' theory is the I'm a big Benedict fan, so I'll use Benedict's as an example. Now all the races got their own Benedicts when you open the menu, right?
Yeah.
Like they got the Tex-Mex Benedict, they got the Loco Moco
Salmon
Benedict.
one, yeah.
Really?
And that's the funny thing. Like
make a good
Goes
salmon.
isn't Hawaiian, but his favorite breakfast place is kind of a Hawaiian partial place. Whereas like when I lived in New York, like I went to this breakfast place that was Mediterranean and like Middle Eastern. It's actually Ariel's favorite breakfast place. He did like a special. I'm like, yeah, I used to eat there all the time, and they would have like Marquez sausages and like these different kind of things. I'm like, oh shit! And my favorite breakfast place in Brooklyn was actually like a French breakfast place, and La Barracuda in Brooklyn, amazing. You know, the stacked that pancakes and like I'm not even a French toast fan. That's the lowest. We did power rankings, Brad. Waffles, pancakes, French toast. How do you rank them? And French toast on the bottom for me. But man, they did like a Texas toast with like this buttered dip, and it was amazing. And yeah, I go
on the bottom.
Yeah, why? I love French toast.
Go 1 through 3.
Because I mean, maybe it's one of those things. French toast is like fish sticks. It's not that it's bad, but it's like
you like fish sticks.
I think we all, unless you really hate fish sticks, maybe you're out of this. But I think we all like fish sticks. But if we ask each other and do an audit, we maybe only had it like once this whole year. It's like when you're at a restaurant, you don't. It's not something you order a lot, right?
Waffles, pancakes, and
I can't
French toast.
remember the last time I had fish sticks.
Okay, well, like it's not even a common bias because if we're doing a common bias, then pancakes should be on top, right? But no, I actually put pancakes in the middle. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that's why I put pancakes in the middle. And waffles actually go on top. Waffles is a rarity. It's another rare. I mean, they're all rarities for me. Those breakfast items, to be honest. But yeah,
I used to
a
be
good
more
waffle.
Of a waffle guy, and I've noticed that's becoming my number 3, and my number 1 is French toast, and then or unless you have a good pancake maker. You know, that does the whole blueberry thing or chocolate chip, you know, whatever they can mix it up, yeah. But for the most part, I find myself liking the French toast a little bit more than the pancake as of late. It's like a 1 and 2, and then the waffle. I think I got stuck with like at a fucking Howard Johnson's or something.
You make your own French toast?
And it was a stiff waffle, and I was like, what? You know, you break your tooth. What?
You make your own French toast?
Hell no.
No?
No.
It'd be shocking if he made his own toast.
No, I was gonna say, use the Punaloo sweet bread, so Punaloo Bakeries. They sell it out here. I don't know, maybe at
that already sounds good.
International Market on Decatur. They used to sell it at next to Island Flavor when Island Flavor had the store next door.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Anyway, Punaloo Bakeries sells a loaf, like a actual bread loaf of sweet bread. Cut that and use that to make your French toast. The best.
And that's the thing. And I come from Hawaii. I've had some really good homemade French toast. But here's my argument why French toast becomes difficult, because there's so many different ways to make it, which becomes kind of an arms race in itself. But the more ways to make something, the more ways to mess something up. And when we're going to a restaurant ordering it, for the most part, because
okay, how about this? Think about it like this. Think about the best French toast, no matter if it's homemade, wherever you've had it. Wherever, the best French toast, the best pancakes you ever had, and the best waffles you've ever had. The best of all of those, and now put those in order 1, 2, and 3.
On those terms, I will move French toast up 1, but I will leave waffles the same. But here's also my argument, according to yours too. No matter what, the best French toast, we'll just go off the best. Even if it's the best French toast to your palate, I feel like it's so overpowering that you can't mix in. And I know that's not part of the question technically, but it favors into my answer. It's harder to mix in eggs or sausage. I know I'm being gluttonous here, but you guys can feel me. Hopefully listeners can feel me. It's so overpowering that it's like I almost don't want the other things. Like maybe I can get a little bit of bacon and stick that in with the syrup. That's always a good trick. But it's just so overpowering that becomes the meal itself. And that's fine if you're a French toast fan. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. But the way I think, I'm thinking of... I'm thinking the combination here.
That should be the daily debate for tomorrow.
It's a much.
Okay, can I continue the racist?
Sorry, the racist.
Why do minorities? Notice I said minorities, but especially blacks. I had to do it.
Okay.
Why do they always wear their
show timeline 1?
Black. Why do they always wear the shades at the press conferences?
It's true, but now Latino, especially like Mark Anthony type Latino and pit bulls, they're doing it. Like
they're minorities.
Way
but
over
especially
the
blacks. They're like
they're
batting like 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Whereas, like Ferguson will wear them, but maybe not Pettis. Or well, not actually Pettis.
Pettis does. I was going to say Pettis and
what is it? We're just trying to get noticed, or
I think maybe because they just fought, or they're trying to hide like
$2,000 glasses, so they want to show them off. It's part of the ensemble.
The lights are too bright for them, or maybe they have symptoms of concussion.
I'm looking here at there's a headline here that says Tyron Woodley tells Whack Kamaru Usman to stop lying about signed title fights. Did you guys check this out yet?
No.
It was a good back and forth.
Yeah,
they went at it on Twitter, and I wanted to read it to you guys, and I wanted to, lead into.
Let me get a computer there, so bless you.
Wow, I barely made it. What was I saying?
Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman. You're gonna read us into it.
Actually, that was a messy sneeze. I gotta wipe my hands.
Let me add to this real quick because to tie into what he was saying and the racist thing. I was actually going to defend you for not being racist because I was going to say you did the same thing to me, but like every time I say Hawaiian food, you go, God, now I want Hawaiian food. I'm like, is that all I have to do with Goes is just mention it?
But so Goes has never even had like Hawaiian food. He's had local food.
Yeah, the poi fish.
What's the best I can do here though? Like you're saying I have to go to Hawaii, right?
No. I have stuff. Oh,
you told me about a poke place that I went to that was awesome over in Henderson.
Yard. Yeah, Poke Express. Yeah. I just went there on New Year's Eve.
He like scolded me, dude. Like he was my real dad. Like, what are you doing eating that shit or something? And then like he's like, you got to go here. And I went. It was really good.
That piss.
Yeah.
But listen to him. He knows what's up.
Mocha? Every time I ask you, you tell me to make it.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Make it, bro.
I'm not going to do that. I don't know how.
It's what?
The best way is to make it. It's true.
Hamburger patties, rice, eggs, and gravy.
Be better than
you get the freshest egg that way when you make it. I agree. I agree.
I'm back in the game.
What'd you spray?
I used that disinfectant.
Oh, okay.
Antibacterial.
George, it's like a shower.
George, I was defending Goes for not being racist, but back to your topic to lead you back in here. I don't know if I can defend what you were saying because of the guy missing from the equation that we're about to talk about. Usman, yeah, he's the whitest dude ever, and he's wearing glasses. So I don't know if that applies.
But he has a gimmick going, you know, like it's part of his gimmick.
Maybe it's true.
Has the gimmick worked? If he doesn't get the title shot, has it worked?
I think it's worked. He got the interim title.
Okay.
He's gotten a lot of attention for it regardless. You know, like a lot of people, I feel like he's trying to be the heel, you know, and a lot of people are going with it. You know, they're hating him. So, and I think that's what he's going for. You know, like he doesn't care. He's like, whatever. I'll be the heel. I'll be the dick.
This is a big story today, and it's also our daily debate. Do you guys want to do the debate first, or you want to dive into this story, this little exchange?
Let's dive into the story first.
This is how it went down. So we all know, if you go back to last year, like Brad said, Covington became the interim champion by defeating Rafael dos Anjos. That was in June of 2018. In September of 2018, the UFC wanted Covington and Woodley, the undisputed champion, to merge the titles. What's that called again?
Unification.
Unify the titles. But Covington had a sinus surgery done. And Covington, who's been pretty active, you know, I didn't think he was out of line. Hey, I just won this title. The other guy's been on the shelf for a little bit, so I'm going to have this done. But it turns out the UFC, because of the multitude of shows that they had, they needed something. Nobody else could go. Woodley could go. Covington couldn't. So guess what? Till steps in. Till fights. And Covington was stripped. Although if you ask Covington, he says, I'm still the interim champ. All right, so Woodley goes on to defend the title. And now, since then, Woodley's had an injury that he's been healing from. But apparently the UFC wants, on March 2nd, UFC 235 here in Las Vegas, for Woodley to be a part of that. Dana White has gone so far as to say, Kamaru Usman's fighting somebody for the title. I just don't know who it'll be. What he means by that is it's either Woodley for the undisputed title, which means Covington's out, or he's fighting Covington for
the second interim
maybe
title.
Another interim title, or maybe they actually go so far as to strip Woodley, which I think would be very, very out of line because Woodley just fought in September. And
yeah, why would you strip Woodley?
So I guess it would be for an interim title, which I wonder if even Covington would be interested in that, because what does that get him? The one thing you're supposed to be assured of by having the interim title is a road to unify both titles. And he was skipped over because of the timing. Look, he had just fought in June, and they wanted him to fight in September. What's that? July, August, September. So for him to go, hey, man, that's just a little too soon. I can go in November. That seemed a little bit out of line, but the UFC does what the UFC does. So now we're presented with this situation here. Ali Abdelaziz, your manager, also Brad, was here, and he said, we have a bout agreement that's been signed by Kamaru Usman to fight on that day. So Kamaru is fighting, and again, it's either going to be Colby or Tyron. Now, let's fast forward to yesterday. Tyron Woodley starts by tweeting, bruh, quit lying to these people and getting them pumped. We'll fight Colby and you this year. He has to catch this fade first. And he was replying to Kamaru Usman, who had said it's a done deal and has been signed March 2019. I will be the new welterweight champion, #NNew. So then Kamaru Usman says back to him, what am I lying about? Do I not have a signed contract with your name on it? Just face the reality. March 2nd, you're standing across the octagon from me. Now get your shit together and let's run it.
Did he take a picture of the contract?
He did a few weeks ago. He just whited out the particulars, you know, but he did take a picture of it. So I can understand here where he's saying, I did sign a contract, you know.
Yeah, so he's not lying.
He's not lying, right. So, and I want you guys to hear this, and then at the end I want you to tell me who won the trash talk, all right?
Okay.
So now we get to Tyron Woodley. He says, bruh, you're coming off stupid, and I don't do Twitter beef. You got my line. That means his number. But what you don't have is a damn agreement signed by me, which technically he's right.
Okay, he's right.
Now quit lying before I lose respect for you. I didn't understand that line. I said I will fight both of you. The order is to be determined. Chill, take a number, and fall back. Okay?
I like how he ended
comes
it.
up and says, I'm coming off stupid with a question mark. The order has been determined by the boss himself, at Dana White, he put. Now, like you said, you're the only one who hasn't signed. I wonder what that means. And then he's got the emoji like,
yeah,
you know?
Thinking.
10-8.
Right.
10-8 towards him, I think.
Tyron Woodley says, that means you're a liar. You just said it was signed and a done deal, right? You and Ali forging my signature? I love how the boss man, in quotes, and you are so close. 6 seconds ago, you were getting shit on for being 30%. Stop this. This isn't your style. Coming off whack. Kamaru Usman says,
that's kind of funny.
He says, enough of the talking. Defend or vacate. March 2nd at Tyron Woodley or that little bitch at Colby Cove MMA. Gonna catch this fade. At Dana White, at Sean Shelby, at Mick Maynard 2, at Ali Abdelaziz 00. And then he goes on to say this. I'm just gonna put the mic up to my speaker. No.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like coming through the headset and.
No. What's up, everybody? You right, champ. All this back and forth Twitter bullshit really ain't me. So you know what? I'm gonna put it all to rest right here. I have a bout agreement signed with your name on it. You the only one who haven't signed on that dotted line. It doesn't matter. March 2nd, I'm fighting for the UFC welterweight title, period. Now, if you don't want to step up and defend the belt, I'll whoop Covington's ass. But March 2nd, somebody's going to catch this fade. So focus all that energy into the gym, and I'll see you March 2nd, champ.
So now, the final.
Give him his respect by calling him champ.
The final blow. Or we think it's ending, right? Because one doesn't do a Twitter beef, the other one said enough, and he does the video. But here they keep going. Tyron Woodley says, and you can tag the word Brody. You can tag the world, Brody. I don't give a fuck. I fight in the order that best suits my legacy. Y'all about to see what that noise is about. Kamaru Usman then comes back and says, clearly you don't call the shots, and you know I ain't Till. I want all that smoke. And trust me, March 2nd, 2019 is a good time for you to catch a fade, and I ain't talking about a haircut. Tyron Woodley comes back and says, look at your skin, G. You don't call the shots either. The cookie will uncrumble the way it should. Remember, you were boring 20 seconds ago. Now I'm really done. Check mark. Kamaru Usman comes back and says, look at you showing your ass now. If I'm the easy fight, then shut the fuck up and sign. I'll see you March 2nd in Las Vegas if you don't get lost on the way. Hashtag FOH. Hashtag crybaby. And I imagine that's fuck out of here, the FOH.
Sure.
And then it ended. It was a good one. I liked it.
How long did this last for?
This was happening yesterday.
I don't know that there's really...
Usually two high-profile names don't go that long. I mean, they got into videos. And, you know what I mean?
I think what stands out for me is the line that if I'm the easy fight, then fucking sign and fight me.
Wait, so I'm confused, though. So...
They both made great
Tyron
points.
said he will fight Kamaru, but he wants to fight Covington first.
Right.
That's his whole thing?
Right.
Why?
If I had to guess, Covington will make him more money. Remember, he's thinking pay-per-views.
Oh.
Covington will make him more money.
You're right.
2 belts on the poster.
Which is something that we told him on this show. We've been driving it, telling him, what do you, like, why won't, like, he wouldn't even acknowledge him and say his name. He'd call him Queefington and things like that.
Yep.
And I used to tell him, I go, look, champ, all due respect, he's done all the heavy lifting. He's Chael to your Anderson. He's Connor to your Jose. Maybe not to those levels. It's not going to sell as much. But Remember, Anderson wasn't really much of a seller of pay-per-views, and then here comes old Uncle Chael, and next thing you know, they're selling. Same thing with Jose Aldo. He wasn't like this pay-per-view star. Here comes Conor, made it tremendous, and I felt like Colby was kind of doing that for Woodley, but Woodley was dismissing him. But now I think Woodley has realized, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess that's my biggest fight out there. GSP, that whole thing disappeared. He's kind of gone. McGregor's taking a loss. Right. I don't think he's going to fight Khabib. The Diaz brothers Nate only wants to come back for Conor. And Nick's.
What happened to Poirier?
Partying, you know? Poirier's.
No, the Poirier and Diaz. Weren't they supposed to fight each other?
It fell apart because they wanted to make it the main event in New York. Yep. But I think Nate he wants a taste of that Conor money, you know? So he goes in there saying, all right, well, we're going to do that. Then you got to pay me this. Because Dustin said, you fucked it up. It should have happened, but you fucked it up. But they were all set to go. And then when Diaz backed out, he said, I got a hip issue myself. I'm going to go take care of it, meaning Poirier.
Right.
Yeah. So I want you guys to digest it a little bit. We're going to take this break, and then when we come back, I want you guys to tell me who won the Twitter beef.
Man.
We'll side with it, and then we'll do our daily debate. This is the big topic of the day, man. Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. It just keeps changing around. The pieces keep changing around. But you see Tyron Woodley's been doing a poll. We did a poll. A lot of people want to see that fight, but Usman was the last guy to fight, the last guy to impress. You know, he fought in December and looked great against Dos Anjos, so lots to talk about. All right, stay close. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. We got Brad Tavares in the house.
Even like social media, I'm barely
They are
on
the
it
stretch
anymore.
marks on
Like
the
fight nights,
underbelly
I
of the MMA community. But hey, stretch marks are the new
Can you
tats.
imagine his reaction
They are
when he saw it?
Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, the NFL playoffs are here. Listen to every game on SiriusXM. We kick things off Saturday with a wild card doubleheader with SiriusXM NFL Radio. Your daily commute takes you down the road to Super Bowl 53. Follow it all on Channel 88 and streaming on your phone or at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers. Brad, yours the team's the Raiders, right?
Yep.
Redskins out. Redskins out. 49ers out.
Out.
We got nothing to talk about.
Dang.
We're all on a freaking. Oh, wait, you guys are both Redskin fans?
Am I a Redskin fan?
Goes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Redskin fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
$1.
No,
made him a
$2.
Redskin- Oh, $2.
Not a hoe.
Made him a Redskins fan.
Yeah.
I don't got strong football loyalties, man, or
you could be a Raider
baseball.
fan
So
now.
You a
'cause they're
Vegas
coming here.
you a Vegas Golden Knights fan?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I went to last year was right after my fight in October. I went to their inaugural season opener, and
Oh,
that was
nice.
right after 1 October and
They had the
everything.
ceremony and all that.
That was pretty cool. So growing up in Hawaii, obviously there's no hockey, right? When I moved out here, my friends that I used to live with, the two brothers, they used to fight for World Series. Brenton and Bryson, Wiley Hansen. Their mom used to come up every now and then, visit them, and the mom and the stepdad would come up, and so just Vegas, they want to go do things, see things, but they weren't much for like the shows and stuff. So we would always go to Las Vegas Wranglers.
At the Orleans?
Yeah, and I freaking loved that.
Yeah.
And then so, like, growing up, I grew up watching the Mighty Ducks. Loved it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's no hockey in Hawaii. So TV is all you see it, and I still don't really understand what the hell is going on. And I like playing, like, hockey games on Xbox and whatnot, PlayStation. But she took us to those games, and we would go every year for, like, 2-3 years straight. And then the Golden Knights game, so I was like, oh, got to jump on that. And went to a few games last year. And
You got Raiders season tickets for next year? Or 2 years from now? Or whatever? Yeah? Okay.
Hey guys, underrated movie D2, Mighty, but the second one.
Oh yeah,
D2,
the band.
Iceland, Team
Yeah.
Iceland. We are Iceland.
I love that movie. That's my
Great
favorite
one.
one. D2.
It's a good one. Yeah, that was the best one.
All right. By the way, did you play flag football this season?
No.
No, because of the injury?
No, I just with my daughter. It
I
had
gotcha.
so much going on. Yeah, I don't have any extra time.
No
It's
spearfishing, nothing.
I a little bit, not as much as like, and then again my injury.
Yeah,
I've been freaking sidelined for like 6 months now.
Are we on the road to recovery? Like
No. So here's a fun little story
surgery?
for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You had it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is what happened.
That's what I meant was, are you on the road to recovery?
No.
Like, oh, the surgery didn't go well.
I just had the surgery.
Okay.
So this is what happened. So after the fight, I break the arm somewhere in the fight. I don't even know where. They sent me to the ER to go stitch up my eye. I had a huge cut. While I'm sitting there, my arm swells up. And then, like after that post-fight adrenaline dump, you start feeling things. So it doesn't really hurt. It's just like throbbing a little bit. So I was like, you know what? While I'm here, while it's covered under UFC's insurance, I might as well get it imaged just to be safe. I'm waiting there anyway, 4 or 5 hours. So I get it imaged. Guy comes back. He's like, oh, so your arm is fractured, but the good news is it looks like it's still in line. It hasn't moved. So we're just going to put a splint on you. You go see an orthopedic, blah, blah, blah. And so he made it like, oh, it's nothing, like hairline fracture, whatever. So I go see the orthopedic 2 days or 3 days, whatever it was, Monday or Tuesday after the fight. I think I fought on a Friday. And then in the meantime, I had just had this like splint from the hospital with like, they put like this hard fiberglass thing on your arm so you can't move it, and then they ace wrap you. So I go to the doctor. He x-rays it, and same thing. He's like, oh, okay, so good news, bad news. Bad news is it's broken. Good news is it hasn't moved. It's in place. So 4 to 6 weeks tops, you'll be fine. We'll put you in a full arm cast for 2 weeks. After that, we'll put you in like this fast form thing, which is a brace. But for the first 2 weeks, you'll wear it like a cast, so you won't take it off at all, not even to shower. But after that, so that would be 4-week mark. So 2 weeks with that thing on, and the 4-week total mark, you can take it off and shower and do what you gotta do. Just put it on after. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, very optimistic. I'll go to the gym, work out, do right side stuff, do what I can do in the meantime. Anyway, 6 weeks come, oh, still not healed, you got to keep it on. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, boom. Anyway, we hit all the way to and then in the meantime now, from about like 8 to 10 weeks, I got cleared to like start going back to the road to recovery, doing certain stuff. So I was working at the PI, doing what I can do. But my arm felt good. Like I could bench press and everything. So 3 months in, the doctor is like, oh, it doesn't look like it's getting any better. I want to do surgery. So I was like, oh, that's like 3 months in now. This is post-fight. So I was like, I'm going to go get some other opinions. So I went to see 2 other doctors. Both of them told me that that I should wait. You know, natural healing is the best course, blah, blah, blah. But the last doctor I seen was like, I don't know why any of the previous doctors didn't do this, but I'm going to order you a CAT scan and let's go see what's, you know, is give us a better idea of what's going on. So I get this CAT scan. The results come back and says that there is no bridging of the gap. So basically
not healing.
Yeah, it's not healing. So at that point, he still was like, you know what, I want you to wait if you can, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, if I was waiting on 100%, like in 6 months, you'll 100% be healed. But not, oh, in 6 months to a year, you may or may not have to do the surgery. So I was headed to Hawaii for my daughter's first birthday. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go do this. And then I couldn't get into surgery that quick anyway. This was like a week or 2 before that. So I was like, when I come back, I'm going to just do the surgery. So I got back from Hawaii in early November. Yep. And then I scheduled the surgery right away. He still wanted me to wait, the doctor. And I was like, I'm not waiting. And he was like, okay, go do another CAT scan just because even if you're going to do the surgery, I'll do this anyway. Went to get the CAT scan. CAT scan was like, looks the same as it did a month ago. So we did the surgery November 27th. He tells me, oh, it's going to be an hour and a half tops. I was under for 6 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah. First time I ever been on there. Woke up sick as a dog. Just puking my guts out.
Were they giving you Coke and Ritz crackers? Or not Ritz crackers, but them.
Yeah, crackers and Sprite, I think. They gave me soda or apple juice or something.
Me too. As they were wheeling me out. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, and they were like trying to get me to go. And I was trying my hardest to get up. And I just couldn't. I would get up and I would just fall back down. And then anyway, the doctor came to see me after when I was like a little bit more coherent. And he's like, you know what? It's a good thing that you opted for surgery because when I went in there, I just touched your bone and it moved. So it wasn't connected at all. He was like, I can't believe that you were doing what you were doing with your
so
bone.
It's a full break.
Yeah. So I think, and I'm not going to mention any names.
3 months you were like that.
Yeah. And I think they missed it in the beginning.
Yeah.
So when I first went in, they x-rayed me here and here. And then maybe about 4 weeks in.
Show me where they x-rayed you again.
So here. I don't know the names of it. This is like
your forearm. I'm just doing it for radio. For
the
forearm.
Yeah. So
because I saw you hold on here, and I don't know if you meant your bicep.
No. I just meant the position. The position.
Gotcha. So forearm to hand.
Yeah. So they
elbow to hand.
No. So palm down. They x-rayed me here, and then here, and then maybe 4 weeks in, the girl x-rayed me like this, and then that x-ray showed the underneath was like fucked up, and I can show you guys a picture.
Is that the ulna?
The ulnar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ulnar and the radius. I think.
Yep. The ulnar. Yep. That's the one. Wow. And then I asked her, I was like, oh, how come I've never did this x-ray before? Why is that? He's like, did he want to see something? And then she's like, oh, like she basically just did it on accident. She was like, oh, no, we normally just do this and this. And then, but that x-ray showed like the underneath, the inside of the break was all fucked up. So I think they kind of missed it and tried to, I don't know, maybe just downplay it. Damn. And maybe because they were like, whoa, we're a month in. Let's just continue this course. And I did the whole bone stimulator. I was taking calcium, vitamin D, E, whatever I could.
So let's recap. Had they caught that night 1, you would have done surgery immediately, and it would have saved you 3 months.
Yeah. If I wish from the beginning that was presented to me, like, here's your options. This, like, because non-union, and that's what Ferguson had, the non-union of the owner, that's like when you get this injury, that's it's not uncommon. It's a big possibility that happens. So I wish from the beginning that would have been presented to me. Like, look, there's this course of action, and natural healing is always the best. And if it heals, then blah blah blah. But there's a good chance that you'll get a non-union, or this takes a long time to heal, and if it looked like that, like from the because the underneath, and I'll show you guys a picture, you guys will see it. But I wish they would have said that, because then a month in, even 2 months in, if it looked like, oh, it's not healing, I would have been like, you know what, let's just do the surgery then. We tried, and I wish they would have sent me right away or a month in or whatever to get a fucking CAT scan. Like, that was the biggest, like, deciding factor for me. The CAT scan saying that it ain't healed at all. There's no bridging. I was like, yeah, let's do the surgery.
So you don't remember when it could have happened, though, in the fight? Like, if you go back and watch it, can you identify when that happened? No?
I can't.
Paul Felder had the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's a common one with blocking kicks, or Paul Felder's case, missing spinning elbows. But man, that frustrates me to hear. Thankfully, nothing is serious, but I've heard that before with hernias and other surgeries I've had, where you hate hearing more than a doctor. I don't know why anybody didn't ask you this before, but let's do this test, and that really makes you angry, because you're like, yeah, why didn't someone before?
Now going forward, if fucking something like this ever happens again, okay, I know. But like I said, I've never ever had surgery before. I've never been in this place before. So
going by what they say.
Message to young fighters, then, right? Learn from that.
Yeah, message to young fighters.
Anything you have, thoroughly ask.
Yeah, and any other fighter out there, you know, if you guys fucking dealing with something similar, hey, hit me up, and I'll talk you through my experience and tell you my experiences, and maybe, I don't know, give you some advice.
There you go. All right, we got to take our second break. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. We have UFC middleweight Brad Tavares in the house. When we come back, we'll talk about this Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman smack talk that happened this past 12 hours or so on social media, on Twitter to be exact. And we also need to do our daily debate and talk about this. What do we want out of these three? Stay close.
Excuse me.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Get the radio channel numbers and a link to listen to your favorite NFL, college basketball, NBA, NHL team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sportstoday and click Add to My Calendar. All right, guys. So now I want to tie in today's daily debate with what we talked about earlier, the trash talk. I went through it. Kamaru Usman and Tyron Woodley went back and forth. And sounds like there will be a fight on March 2nd here in Las Vegas. Just we don't know who's going to be paired up with who. I'd like to get your guys' thoughts. Here's the question, guys. With UFC welterweight champ Tyron Woodley's next title defense still not official, who do you believe is the most deserving of the opportunity and the true #1 contender? Your choices are Colby Covington or Kamaru Usman. And, of course, I'd love for you guys to expand on that. You start off, Dan Tom.
This one's a hard one to debate in the sense that they're both deserving, but for me, at the same time, it's kind of clear because one guy has a belt, and from a promotional standpoint, it feels like you gotta tie that in if you're going to give a guy an interim championship shot, and he's going to win that, and you're going to promote it as such, whether you strip it or not. It feels like you kind of got to tie that in, and especially if that's going to get you more buys, but Usman's pretty deserving himself too, but if gun to my head, guys, I feel like I got to go Covington here. I feel like it's going to do the best business, and he kind of had his beat first.
Okay, Goes.
He said it perfectly. They're both actually deserving of it, but the fact that you gave Colby Covington an interim title, he won it. He has to be next. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So what do you go back to the UFC and go, well, then why'd you do that? What's the point of that? We have to keep order.
Brad Tavares.
I'm in agreement. I think Colby Covington, just because, like they said, he won the belt. Like that gives him that little edge of little bit more.
But like you also said, they took it away as well, and Usman shined last.
But yeah, so that being said, yeah, they should. The whole point of an interim belt is because the champion is not ready or whatever. But the champion since fought after that interim belt. So, yeah, that interim belt should just go away, diminish. And it should be the guy who had the interim belt fighting the champion to not even unify, but just because he's the #1 contender. But straight up, honestly, rather than seeing Tyron fight Usman, I would rather see either of those guys fight Colby.
Okay. And we answered the question. 73% said Colby Covington. 27% said Kamaru Usman. What do you think is going to happen, guys? We know that Kamaru Usman has shown the world, hey, I got a signed agreement that I will be there. Now it's just a matter of it's going to be Woodley or Covington, or maybe they tear that one up and they do go back to what you guys just discussed.
The Colby Covington fight, I can't think of an easier fight to sell. He did all the work for everyone. There's so many different angles of promoting this fight. There's so many things. Like you can even throw like their political views in there. I hate to say it, but people still look at things like black versus white. There's so many ways that good guy versus bad guy, and that actually flip-flops for a lot of people. So many ways of promoting this fight. I don't understand why you wouldn't do it. And I love Usman. I think Usman would be a great fight too, and I like how he's talking smack. It's getting me to want to watch both of them. They both have to happen, but I just don't understand how you can't do.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be Usman.
Against Woodley?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I was going to say, if this was what I think is going to happen next, because this question's asking us, who do we feel deserves, right? Who do we believe is most deserving? Next, though, I would say Usman, and I'll tell you why from resume. I think you were motioning the resume sign there, George, if you were not there. And regardless, I would have to agree.
Both the resumes are amazing.
Well, you got to look at it. Let's compare it head to head. Kamaru Usman has 9 straight UFC wins and a winning streak that extends further than that outside the UFC, whereas Covington's run into some roadblocks into the UFC, but he's on a nice winning streak. Granted, it's only a 6 to a 9, and that 6 starts off after a loss to Warlley Alves, which is a guy who Kamaru Usman beat in his 9-fight path to the victory. And regardless, even though they gave Colby Covington the interim title spot, which is bigger than what I'm about to say, but they did give Kamaru Usman the reserve spot, which means something too. That's almost a nod to the UFC that says, hey, if we're giving you the nod to the reserve guy. I was just making my case to say Kamaru Usman, but I was just trying to make a debate for the other side.
Yeah, I understand. So you think it's going to be Usman and Woodley?
Yeah, if that's the question, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say because Usman does have the contract, but how many times have you seen the UFC go back on something?
I think it's going to be Usman and Woodley because I've seen the contract, and I think that's just what it's going to be. It sucks because I think when you have an interim and an undisputed, you bring them together. But the good thing is I think we're going to see both fights in 2019. So we're all winners. All right, we got to get out of here. It's the top of the hour break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM's Fight Nation Channel 93. This is a quick break, folks. Don't touch that dial. Don't even walk away because we'll be right back. And we have UFC middleweight Brad Tavares here in
Ran out of gas. You're not gonna go to Ariana Grande this year?
Oh fuck is that? I think, yeah. You know what the UFC is probably thinking? One way or another, they feel like they're gonna get rid of Tyron. If he doesn't fight, they strip him, and then if he does fight, they probably feel like Kamaru is the better matchup for him, like as far as to beat him.
All right, here we go with the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Couldn't get Brad to stop talking there, so we'll start the second hour. But go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. No, what was the point you were making? I'm curious. Is this Floyd Mayweather talk?
No. I was talking about Woodley and
okay.
Kobe and stuff.
All right. Well, what else you got?
No, I just was saying that, it's pretty obvious, and I think he's voiced it enough that the UFC does not like him. So maybe this is just their way, because like you said, that the thing that makes the most sense is Woodley versus Kobe.
And Dana White clearly said this is Colby's title shot. He said that about 2 months ago. Then Kamaru won, and he goes, at least he was honest enough to go, wow, I may be changing my mind. I like when he at least, if you're going to be totally raw and honest, then at least say,
just admit to it, right?
Yeah, admit to the fact that I'm changing my mind from something I said previous. It's just that Dana sometimes comes out and says, this is the way we've always done it.
But then that means the interim title means nothing.
You didn't do it that way for this. You know what I mean? And it just, it creates this whole meltdown on everyone's part.
But that means that the interim title doesn't mean anything, because now he's just comparing what each guy did. Like, what have you done for me lately? That's basically what it looks like.
I think it's obvious that the interim title doesn't mean anything.
Man, it's so weird. This is the way I look at it. If it were Colby Covington, it would have already been signed and done. We'd already be talking about it. So to me, I feel like it's too smart.
It's funny because I'll be the first to admit I do go back and forth on a lot of my stances, all right? Because it's fan media. If I'm talking as media, I want guys to earn title shots. But on Saturday night when I'm at home with a beer in my hand, and I'm like, fuck, we're about to watch Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg. Like, that's pretty cool to watch a champion versus champion. Now, all week I'm saying, but Ketlen Vera deserves it. She's 10-0, and she needs to be a bantamweight or try to be a bantamweight champ and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? There's all these different cases you can make because, look, they're already talking about a Nunes versus Cyborg rematch. If it happens, Nunes hasn't defended 135 since May of last year against Raquel. Well, what do the other 35ers do? They're just sitting there going, what the fuck are we doing? If we're never going to get a title shot because all you guys are doing is great fights, money fights, whatever fights.
Super fights.
Yeah. What about us? And that's when I revert back to being me and going, they're right. I mean, they all want to be a champion at some point. So it's
that's why you make the interim belt.
Yeah. All right. We got to get to our next guest. He's ready to go. His name's Alexander Hernandez. Alexander the Great, excuse me. He is going to be fighting Donald Cerrone at UFC Fight Night Cejudo versus Dillashaw, which is coming up quick, guys. The ESPN era has officially started. This one's going to be called UFC on ESPN Plus 1. It's Cejudo versus Dillashaw as the main card. It's on ESPN Plus, and it's from Brooklyn, New York. Now, this fight is going to be on ESPN. Get that.
ESPN.
The prelims are going to be on ESPN, and then they move to ESPN Plus. Wait, like, if I'm Alexander Hernandez, I'm like, fuck yeah. I'll fight on ESPN, and you guys can do whatever you want on ESPN Plus.
What is ESPN Plus?
It's like their Fight Pass. It's like a digital platform where you have to pay a monthly fee. And, yeah, that's what it is. All right, Alexander, how you doing, man? Alexander Hernandez, you with us?
Yo.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Welcome back to MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George, Goes, and Dan. And we also have UFC middleweight Brad Tavares here with us. We were just discussing how you're on ESPN, and then after your prelim fight versus Donald Cerrone ends, they move over to ESPN Plus. Do I have that right? Is that how you were told as well?
It's my understanding that it's ESPN, and honestly, dude, I don't know if it's ESPN Plus or ESPN or what the fuck, but after that, it goes to pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, technically, I guess it is a pay-per-view because ESPN Plus, you have to pay $4.99, and then you get all their content. But technically, you're on a bigger platform with Cerrone on ESPN.
I'll take it straight to the bank. Yeah, I'll settle with that. I'm not mad there.
Yeah. I don't know why that hasn't been talked about. This is the first time I'm really noticing it, and we're actually talking about it. But they're the featured fight on the ESPN portion of the prelims versus Donald Cerrone. In fact, I'm going to stop talking about that. I'm going to ask editorial.
That's way better because, yeah, I was told by some of you guys it was going to be the co-main event, and then I heard somebody ESPN Plus, not ESPN. So, truthfully, I'm just going to show up the week of and go wherever they tell me. But if that's the case, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and when you were told you get Cerrone, you must have been pretty ecstatic because you're handling your business. Look, you're 10-1 overall. You've won like 8 fights in a row. You're 2-0 in the UFC, and the names, Dariush was a big name to start off. OAM, he's a big name as well. But now Cerrone's kind of like that level that kind of connects you to the casual fan. So they must really like you over there at the UFC because this is a great fight booking for you.
Yeah, man, I was ecstatic when I got that option, and it definitely just spoke volumes that the UFC is aligning their vision with the way that I see myself in the future in the company. So extremely grateful that they gave me that opportunity to take him because they could have given it to anybody. And I'm also grateful that Cerrone's is brazen as he is and just fucking takes whatever fight in the world because, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, why the fuck me? I don't know, but I'll take it to the bank. I'm happy about it.
You know, Alex, they just ended the Fox era, and on some of the last days, they were showing clips like from the very first Fox show, and some of the fighters got to talk about just how special that felt to be a part of that. In your case, you're going to be part of the first ESPN show. Does that have anything to do with you? Like, does it make it any more special, or is a fight just a fight?
Yeah, man, absolutely. This is so huge. It's a monumental event. I think it's one of the most monumental events in UFC history, being on this inaugural card in the ESPN. And the fact that I have this opportunity to face a household name and what people call a legend in the game, Donald Cerrone, on an ESPN inaugural card, it's like, there's just forces on my side that are just bigger than me, and I just keep saying that shit, and I swear to God, this whole thing's just bigger than me, and I'm just a vessel filling in, but I couldn't be more excited to put an emphatic stamp on ESPN for the UFC and for the sport of mixed martial arts and just completely murking Cerrone. So, dude, this is fucking huge, and it's huge for my career. It's huge for the sport.
Let me step in for just a second. I just confirmed it with our editorial. Thanks, John Morgan. That's what they're doing. ESPN Plus is the Fight Pass prelims. Mm-hmm. Then they go to the prelims. Then they go to the prelims.
Yeah, I like that, dude.
Then they go to the prelims that would be normally Fox Sports 1. Mm-hmm. That's on ESPN.
Nice.
And then they go back to ESPN Plus. So if you think about it, Cerrone and Hernandez are going to have a bigger audience than Cejudo and Dillashaw, which is a super fight. It's a title fight between two champions. Now, the strategy is, hey, this is what you get if you sign up. You get what I'm saying? But in the meantime, what does Alexander Hernandez care? He's on ESPN.
Yeah. Wait. So the title fight is going to be on ESPN Plus. So it's basically going to be on like Fight Pass, like their version of Fight Pass, and not pay-per-view.
No. Right. Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you are paying a monthly subscription, but it's like Fight Pass. Yeah.
No, but like the actual pay-per-view, like fucking channel 1501 or whatever the hell it is on DirecTV.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That makes me a little nervous, just kind of moving forward. I hope that they still, decipher between pay-per-view cards and not just ESPN Plus cards moving forward. You know what I mean? Because I feel like those
they're gonna lose so much money if they take away from
pay-per-views. That's what I'm saying, dude.
They're not gonna move from pay-per-view anytime soon. They just did fucking 2.4 with Khabib and Conor. So trust me, that.
Oh yeah, man.
In fact, we can get into that later on because that one's starting to warm up again. But anyway, just for this fight, that's how it boils down. Go ahead, guys.
Alex, so now that you know that, do you take that as a compliment? Because really, in my opinion, you know how some girls you take home and others you don't? I feel like the UFC's taking you home to meet this giant audience. Basically, they're saying, by putting you on this card and putting you in the position you're in, they're saying, hey, if you really like MMA, watch these two guys. They're going to make you want to pay for it. Do you take that as a compliment?
100%. The UFC is laying down Persian silk linen and spreading their legs to me right now, and they're letting loose all the pheromones. I'm in it, and I'm definitely taking full advantage of that. 100%.
I heard you played Santa Claus for Christmas. Are you gonna play the Grinch in Brooklyn?
We're past the holiday, dog. I'm just gonna be taking cookies in Brooklyn. I'll be the fucking cookie monster in Brooklyn. Okay, I'm not worried about the Grinch anymore.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm excited to be in New York. It's my first time being over there, so it'll be a cool experience.
All right, Dan, Tom, what do you have for Alexander Hernandez?
Hey, Alex, you know, we talked to you before about training. In fact, you first came on my radar when a friend of mine, listener to the show, Rodney James Edgar from Ohana Academy, said, be on the lookout for this kid. And man, you know, when I think about breakout fighters, guys, you know, I'm sure guys like, like maybe Israel Adesanya's name's getting thrown around, or these big names. When I think of breakout fighters, maybe because I have more of a hardcore radar, I think about guys like you, Alex, and perhaps, you know, with a potential win over Cerrone to start 2019, you can get there. But in your mind, you're obviously a confident guy. Do you feel it's more just a matter of time and the matchups, and that's why you're so open arms for these opportunities?
Absolutely, man, and I appreciate you giving me that respect also, because definitely a sleeper cell right now, and I'm not rushing any of that. You know, we're just seizing every opportunity that we get, like you said, in this division. It's the most stacked in the world, I believe, and so you got to seize those hoes while they're there, because they don't last long at all. You got to snag them while you can, and I'll be damned if I ever let one slip through my grip. So same thing like Darius, same thing with the OAM. Cerrone's just another guy. He's just another guy who's enabling me to get to the top, and that's it. Right now he's an enabler, and so I'm taking full advantage of it, appreciating his courtesy and accepting this fight and giving me a passage to, like you said, the casual fans, and then also just the pedestal to the top. So.
And adding on to that, as somebody, an interested party watching you grow, always interested in watching where you're training. And it seems kind of you've been getting in a flow here. It looks like you're going to Southern California at the Roofka Gym. But my question was, are you still working with, I believe his name was Jason Kilgore, up in the Pacific Northwest? Have you returned back up there, or what is the training regimen heading into this one?
No, and I don't want to get confused. I don't cross train regularly in hop gyms like that. I've got my day one squad, and we keep it very internal.
Okay.
Between San Antonio and New Braunfels at Ohana Academy. So my head coach is Jason Yarrington. My spirit animal is Jason Kilgore. That dude lives right down the street from me now. I moved to New Braunfels just to be down the road. And New Braunfels is like a 25-minute drive north of San Antonio, so I just shoot down to San Antonio every day. And so he's my strength, mobility, conditioning coach. And then I've got, my mitt men and really any other fillers, boxing. I truthfully, just between boxing, kickboxing, my head coach who does the jiu-jitsu, and Kilgore are all my home bodies. The reason I go out to South California is to link up with a wrestling coach I've been working with, Daryl Christian, and so I'll just get some wrestling fine-tuning. I grew up wrestling, but this guy's kind of a wizard in his craft, and he mixes it up and really sets up shots from mixed martial arts better than most. So I go up there just to cross-train with him, and then he links me up with some other good people just to play with while I'm there. But I definitely don't like spending too much time away from home because I've got such a strict system, and I'm a man of structure, and so when I'm away, and certainly being in California, you're in the fucking car for like hours on end, driving from one gym to the next, and maybe I don't have like all my nutrition lined up, and everybody out there's got a fucking opinion of somebody, and I just don't like my shit being spread out so much, and people put my name in their mouth. So I keep myself sequestered back home as much as possible.
All right. We also have UFC middleweight Brad Tavares co-hosting with us today. Brad, what do you have for Alex Hernandez?
Do you like whole kernel or creamy sweet corn better?
Man, dude, I don't fucking fuck with corn on the cob at all, bro. I might have some popcorn kernels like that.
I just fucking Dan actually stole my question. I was just curious that now that you're in the UFC, I know that it opens up some doors, and also, you know, financially, it makes things a little bit more accessible. So I just was wondering as well if you had gone around, you know, and tried to train at new places. But you, like I said, Dan stole the question, and you answered it very well in that last one. So
thievery.
I got it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the reason I got out there was TJ. I happen to have a trip planned to L.A. just to catch up with one of my childhood friends around my original scheduled fight, just a regional fight, right? And then I got that last-minute call to the UFC. And so afterwards, I still went on my trip, and serendipitously, all these gyms just started opening up to me because I was in town, and TJ saw I was in there, so he invited me up, and that's how I met that wrestling cat and some of the other people. So, like I said, it's just kind of keeping a good relationship, respect for those guys, and just touching base. You know, in between fights, I might go out there and just get a little tune-up, but I keep my ties close at home. And maybe I think what you're talking about, I go out to Oregon. That's kind of my vision quest, my spiritual journey each time between fights, and me and Kilgore, his Kilgore, is out there in Oregon, and so a guy named Andre, and so we go out there and we do a lot of farming, a lot of mobility, some plant eating, and get a little weird out in the hills. And so,
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of the only times I really try to stray from home.
All right, one last question here. This is either going to be a home run or you're just going to hang up the phone. You know, Kawhi comes back to town tonight, right? What's going to go down? Do you care? Will you be tuning in?
You said Kawhi?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so bad at sports, dude. I barely keep enough.
So Kawhi Leonard's one of the best Spurs ever, right?
Yeah.
He traded
Spurs,
him to Toronto, and Toronto comes back tonight to play, and I know that's going to be a big deal to other San Antonians other than Alexander Hernandez, obviously. But I was just wondering if you were a fan.
Everyone needs to tune into the UFC, bro. I've been preaching it, dude. I mean, fuck the Spurs. God bless them. We know we love them. They put them on for a while, but let's like turn our attention to what's going to carry the city at this point, and you know, humbly speaking, that's going to be me. So
there you go. I like that.
We get San Antonio looking in the right
humbly
direction.
Speaking.
It's gonna be Alexander Hernandez, Tim Duncan, Vinny Del Negro. That's the power rankings right there.
Yeah.
I would love to see
me and Dave Robinson exchanging jerseys.
There we go.
I would love to see Alexander Hernandez kind of get some sort of a tribute at a Spurs game. So keep doing your thing, Alex. It's great. It's always great talking to you, my man. Good luck with the rest of the camp, and can't wait to see your fight versus Donald Cerrone on ESPN, big ESPN.
Aloha, bro.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll see you. All right, that is Alexander Hernandez. Shout out to Goes for booking that one. He actually booked all of today's show. He ran into Brad Tavares 3 times in the last
Shout out to my
2
stomach.
days. Yeah, you ran into him at Sam's and Albertsons, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Can I say what you had at Albertsons? He had the weirdest thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. He had a cabbage.
A cabbage.
3 boxes of peanut butter crunch, Captain Crunch.
Jesus.
And I can't remember what the third thing was, but it was something that had nothing had anything to do with anything that was on that belt. It almost looked like a decoy or something. Like you said, I just gotta get out of the house.
It was no, it was liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke, yeah.
Yeah.
So unless he's gonna barbecue cabbage and sprinkle Captain Crunch on it, I have no idea what the fuck his plan was when he got
my
home.
Hawaii peeps know what that was about, and the Captain Crunch has nothing to do with it. That was just for my midnight snack. But the cabbage and the liquid smoke is for Kahlua pig and cabbage.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if you make the Kahlua pig, like, so traditionally you put it in the ground in an Emu underground oven, and it takes all fucking day and blah, blah, blah. But I bought this Instant Pot for Christmas. I love that thing. So it was my first time trying to make Kahlua pig in it because it's much, much quicker, like an hour and a half, I think, it cooks. You put your
But this is like at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
It's a weird time to do that.
You got to eat at all times of the day. But yeah, so the liquid smoke gives it that smoky flavor, clove pig and cabbage.
Do you like Captain Crunch? It's good.
Peanut butter crunch.
It's not bad, but it's not at the top. I recently got, I haven't had cereal in a long time, nor milk, and I just grabbed Cocoa Pebbles. I think that's always been my favorite.
Yeah.
Cocoa Pebbles.
I used to play with Captain Crunch as a kid and pretend they were cars. And
they're hard enough to do that.
Huh? Yeah, they were.
All right, guys.
This is really digressing and getting the breakfast talk.
We'll be talking to Ray Sefo. He's going to stop by the studio pretty soon. But I wanted to get back to, I guess, ESPN's strategy there. I understand it, but it was weird when it was broken down like that. The title fight, yeah, that's on ESPN Plus, but the prelim is on ESPN. I don't know. I think couldn't that have been handled differently?
But it does feel like a
pull.
pay-per-view because there's so many people that need to buy it for the first time right?
Like, wouldn't you want to have the good fight on ESPN and go, yes, see, this is what we're going to do. Now go get ESPN Plus, I guess. I don't know. They're much smarter than I am.
Hey, but whatever. It pays off for the fans because as a fan, if you're buying a pay-per-view, was it $65 now?
But this is just to sign up for Fight Pass kind of.
Yeah, so no, but that's what I mean. So how much is it? $10 a month?
For something.
$4.99.
$4.99. So it's $5.
Right.
So what can you have it for like a whole freaking year, and it'll be still the cost of that one pay-per-view. So I guess that's back to what you were saying. That's probably what they're getting at. But a bunch of these tight asses will probably just cancel it. They'll buy it for like, buy the pay-per-view for $5. You know?
Yeah, I keep saying it. I got to do it, All right, guys. Circling back to Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman, who won the Smack Talk?
Oh, it's such a tough question.
I think, in my opinion, you got to go Usman, I think, because he has all the facts. He has everything. He has the signed contract with him, although Tyron didn't sign it or whatever. He has it saying, like, here, this is the fight that the bosses want to make. This is the fight that you said that you would do at some point. This is the fight that I want, and here it is. So either sign it or shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think as far as that goes, I would give it to him because it's like you cannot talk shit if you cannot like he's backing it up. He's like, yeah, I want to fight you, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. It's right there. So
I kind of agree with him in the sense that it feels like it's 2 against 1 because basically what Kamaru's argument is, I want it and your boss wants it. Right. You're the only guy that's keeping this from happening. As where Tyron's argument's a little bit different. I still feel like Colby should get it, but Smack Talk versus Smack Talk, like I thought they were really good back and forth, but I think Brad's right. What it kind of comes down to is like facts.
How about you, Dan?
I'm usually the worst to ask for this, but from the you did a good job, George, of kind of laying that out there, along with Junkie there, kind of laying it the lineal timeline. And I got to go with Kamaru Usman as well. Even Tyron Woodley's good lines, they were more like kind of distracting things or plays on words. When it came to the facts at the end of the day, which was kind of the point we just touched on with the daily debate, that Kamaru Usman is the guy that's there, whether it's for the company. And he's that guy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't fault him for having that resume and always being there to sign contracts, to weigh in, even when he's not scheduled to be in the title fight. He's there, and you can't take that away from him. But is it bad that, like, I almost don't care? Maybe because there's the amount of MMA we have, I almost don't care about these exchanges until the contracts are signed. I'm like, just let me know when it's signed and who's fighting, and we'll get to it then. Is that bad of me to think like that?
I've been in that phase before.
Yeah. Not necessarily with these guys. This is what we're talking about, by the way, so I don't want to confuse that, but in general, I'm usually just like, let's just wait till it's signed. But I got to side with Usman here, guys.
It's funny because I think media and fans are going to be able to help make the final decision. There's a lot of polls that are being thrown out there.
Okay.
We threw one out there. Tyron Woodley threw one out there. A lot of people, and so it seems like media and fans want Woodley Covington, but Dana White wants Usman Woodley.
But
and I don't know if that's more important or what. I don't know if Dana will relent. I mean, if they already sent him a bout agreement, holy cow! Like, it's like Dana put Woodley in a really, really tough spot. You know what I mean? Because Woodley has this thing about saying, "I never decline fights ever. I say what I want. I'll throw out the Diaz name, the McGregor name, but when they come to me with a final fight, I sign and do whatever." Now, That said, every single time he defends, he becomes, in my opinion, like a not more powerful figure, but a figure that should be more respected.
Right.
I mean, he's got 4 title
That
defenses.
he demands more power, like in saying where his career should or shouldn't go.
Right.
You know,
and he just fought in September, and prior to that, he did have a year layoff, but prior to that, he fought 4 times in 10 months.
Yeah.
So, it's tough because he makes really, really good points at times, but for some reason, just him and Dana have never really clicked.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know that he's like the worst guy out there. I mean, he's
kind of a model citizen outside of the cage,
and he's done good work for him at Fox. So I don't really get
I like
it.
Tyron.
The tricky part,
super cool guy.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I think the tricky part is the situation is the bout agreement part of it, and we've been seeing that more. And like for me, I don't know, it kind of smells like that same situation, like using Usman, like how they used Khabib. Remember back at 205 where Khabib had the signed contract before Eddie and Conor was made official. And I don't know if it's like kind of like a leverage play. We've seen contracts go out there. Fighters claim to have that before, so that just makes it even stickier, regardless of your opinion or regardless of what that really is. At the end of the day, that always makes these kind of things stickier.
Here's what I.
How about this? Woodley at one point said, "Look at your skin, G. You don't call the shots either." It's kind of like they started broing there at the end, almost like kind of going down the racial route, but not really. They both had a moment where they could have dropped the mic, and then they came back to the Twitter beef. Like they both said,
wants to
"Bro,
have the
I'm done."
last say.
And then it wasn't working, and they both had good opportunities to leave it at that.
You guys should do another poll and put Usman versus Colby in it, so those 3 fights.
So Usman versus Colby versus Woodley, and
That's
Woodley
something.
versus
Yeah,
Usman?
I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest.
Go ahead, guys. You were gonna say something?
What I was gonna say was the thing that I've heard a couple times from people is, don't worry about it. They're just gonna fight at some point this year anyway. But to me, that's people saying, like, you can't sleep on Usman beating Tyron Woodley. That would mean that they already have Tyron Woodley beating Usman then fighting Colby.
You cannot say
can't
that
sleep on a guy like Usman. So to me, if you tell me I can only see one of those two, I gotta know this has to end. The Colby Covington Tyron Woodley thing, there's got to be a conclusion to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you get that, because if Usman beats Woodley, then guess who's gonna fight Usman? Right? I mean, I guess you could say the champ should get an immediate rematch, but that doesn't always happen.
No, not at all.
So, to me, if I can only get one of them, I need to know how that's going to resolve.
I did do it, and we have to go to break soon, so I got to do this fast because Big Ray Sefo's waiting.
Where?
He's coming in at 11:30. I did this on December 27th. Now, obviously, I ain't got no MMA junkie following, but I had 157 votes, 157 votes. I wrote, at the end of the day, MMA fans, which fight do you want to see and why? Woodley versus Covington, Woodley versus Usman, or Covington versus Usman?
Okay.
78% said Woodley versus Covington.
Okay.
15% said Woodley versus Usman, and 7% said Covington versus Usman.
Oh, so they just want to see the champ fight. I thought more people would want to see Covington get his
so if you
ass
look at it, you could say
somebody.
93% just want Woodley to defend against someone.
Right.
But of that 93, 78 wanted to be Covington. And it's not necessarily because Covington's the more popular fighter. I'm sure some either want him to win or someone want him to get his ass kicked. But it seems to me like he's the one that did a lot of heavy lifting in the last 18 months.
Right.
All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
unfold, and all these guys' dreams being, became reality. Not only being a champion, but going home with $1 million. I mean, it was an amazing night for PFL.
Well, a lot of us shed tears that night. Right? It took you halfway through the show. Lewis Taylor's little daughter, man, when she was crying and they showed her,
right,
I started to get teary eyes. I was like, wow, because it hit me at that moment. We say things to promote fights and to support the organizations and things like that. And I said it plenty of times. I know the guys did. Every time we had a PFL athlete on, especially as we were getting closer, we kept saying life-changing opportunities.
Right.
I focused a lot on the money. The guys didn't, but I did. But I kept saying, hey, that's a big thing, or whatever. But the minute he won and they panned back to his family, first they panned to him just like other families, But rarely are the kids shown as much. But in this instance, it was the whole family, so it was really, really cool. And then when they went back and one of them was super happy, the wife is super happy, and the other one was just different levels of emotion.
Right.
And then he goes in there and says the house is paid, their schooling's paid, they're all together, man. That was emotional for me.
No, it really was, because, Lewis Taylor is, he has such a great story, because if you look at, Lewis Taylor probably was one of, and, I'll admit it, he's probably one of the last guys you would think will get to the finals and win it. And the way he won it, he just stopped a guy that's never been stopped before. And within 33 seconds, I think it was. Mm-hmm. It's a real Cinderella story. I was super happy for him, because, again, like he said in the cage, his house is paid, his kids' college is paid, like all these kind of things, and you just go, wow, that's just incredible story.
And he's coming back. We talked to him yesterday,
exactly.
Right, guys?
Exactly.
He's coming back.
Oh, he's amped.
Yeah.
He can't wait to come back.
Yeah,
I can't wait to have him back too, because again, when the season started, there were guys that really stood out. Well, and all those guys that stood out lost their first regular season fights, and then didn't make the playoffs. Some just barely made the playoffs and lost in the playoffs. So the thing about PFL season and the format, you just never know. You just never know who's going to come through.
What were some other special moments Monday night that stood out to you, that maybe either we saw and shared with you, you being in person, us watching it on TV, or maybe that we didn't see?
I think the whole night as a whole was truly amazing. Right out I think when the first round started, there was a packed house already. So everything about that night was, again, like I've said this at the post press conference, you plan things and you just hope it works out. But then when it works out and more, you just go, wow, this is truly amazing. And I think the team at PFL did an amazing job. And it's not a one-man job. And I was really proud not only of all our fighters, but also of the whole team, because everybody worked their butt off to get the show to where it was.
Can you even take like a sigh of relief? Because it feels like, yeah, it ended, but season 2 feels like it's already here. Like it's already, for one, you're here right now.
Right. I just finished coaching. I arrived 2 days ago. I had yesterday off, and I'm in the gym today. This morning I'm here, and then pretty much, everything just. It's funny. I was driving home just yesterday. I'm like, it's the second already. Like it just felt like it was New Year, and it's already going again. You know what I mean? So May is going to be around the corner, and you're right back at it.
We already have questions for season 2. You want to start?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Some things that happened that we weren't expecting. Sean O'Connell is a millionaire.
Right.
But he said, I'm done. I'm not going to come back next season. However, he's had a role with some broadcasting with you guys.
Right.
Is he a possibility to come back in that role?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be George's call, Greenberg. George is a great partner, and he's in charge on that side. And Sean does a great job anyway on the broadcast. The first time I actually had heard Sean live was when he was interviewing Carlos and I, and he was freaking amazing. I was like, wow, okay, he's good. Then I heard him on the broadcast. I thought, okay, he is he is pretty good. Again, he knows the game. Anybody that understands the game knows that when they get on that broadcast, I mean, they know exactly what they're seeing, what they're looking at, what they're feeling, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. I think he'll play a big part in that on that side of things.
Yesterday, we spent a good chunk of our show talking about how disappointed we were that the UFC let Jimmy Smith go. That's a big name.
Oh, that's right.
Is that a name that could possibly show up for season 2?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. We haven't really thought about it. We haven't talked about it or anything like that, just because we literally just got done. Mm-hmm. I just saw that yesterday too. And Jimmy is, he's great at what he does. Again, I got to talk to the team and see where we're at. I mean, listen, we have Randy Couture, we have Buzz Rutten as our color commentators, and then now Sean O'Connor is retired, and that's the side of things that he wants to come into. So we'll just have to wait and see.
What was your phone like the night of, as far as text, phone calls, not just from people that were involved with the show, people outside, different organizations saying, hey, man, I want to come for season 2. Like, when did all that start?
That's what I want to know, yeah. Are the managers and the fighters hitting you up for season 2?
Yep. I mean, I've had people come up to me, even at the after party. Ray, please, you got to sign this guy. He's freaking amazing. This guy, that guy. I'm like, just email me the list and let me go through it. The final decision is going to be made no later than probably the 15th of this month.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Shit. You'll have all the 72 names or whatever you're deciding? Wow.
Yep.
Open a lot of doors, though.
Yeah. I thought you were going to maybe wait it out till, like March or April or something.
Like I said, what's the date today? It is the third today already.
You know what, Ray? I don't want to sound corny, but every year I look forward to certain things. In February, I believe it's the first Wednesday when all the high school football athletes announce what college they're going to.
Valentine's Day?
And then the NFL draft. Yeah. Then the NFL draft, all these athletes, what team are they going to go to? There's certain day, like there's a day when the English Premier League releases their schedule or the NFL schedule or whatever.
Deadlines.
I'm really looking forward to. Is it going to be all at once? Like, here's all of them, or every day are you going to release a division? I'm really anxious to see that. I say that with pure sincerity, man.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people that's looking forward to that too. I mean, obviously the fighters also got to know who's in and who's out,
right,
or who didn't make it, because I have a whole list of fighters.
Wow.
With in different divisions. Of course, there's at least 4 or 5 guys that will be coming back from the last season.
Right.
But the rest is going to be made up of new fighters that's on the scene, guys that are free agents.
And what's fair is it gives everybody else a chance to react and move on if they didn't make it, right?
Right, exactly.
No sense in holding that too. In fact, I thought I peeked over and you guys were looking at Coachella. Same thing. I look forward to the Coachella release.
Yeah.
To see who's going to be on or whatever. Brad, don't worry. Katy Perry will be. Headlining.
Seen her already.
Oh, okay. But anyway, the 15th, awesome, man. That's great news. You're really just keeping the train going.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm always on the grind, and I love what I do. It's work, but it's not work, if you understand what I mean. Mm-hmm. Again, just giving fighters opportunities is probably the most pleasurable thing that I do right now. And I'm just signing a contract and handing it to the guys and you can see them, watch them glow, because an opportunity like this, I mean, look at who we presented $1 million check to each of those 6 guys that night. Sean O'Connor just retired as a millionaire, and I'm sure he never thought that would be possible at any stage of his life. And
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Felipe Lenz said the same thing.
Yeah.
He never thought that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, when he was saying that people were already at the after party, I was thinking, man, let the guy breathe. But in this sport, you really can't do that. You have to stay on top, especially if you're a manager and all that. Yeah. Would you agree with that, Ray?
I'm standing over there, but like 2 minutes before I actually walked in here, I was on a phone call with Ali. Bro, we need to sit down. There's a lot.
Then he probably
right.
Then he probably wouldn't have a problem with us saying, "Hey, you want to co-host January 15th?"
yeah, really. We should book you for January 15th, man.
Smart.
So, Ray, let me ask you this. I don't know what you can tell us, but the more the better. Straight now for me, we've had you on the show and Kayla Harrison on the show. Kayla says they are going to do a division for me. Then we had you on the show, and you said, we're not sure yet of what divisions we're doing for next year. And then Kayla comes back and wins her fight and says, I'm going to be a millionaire. So can you clear that up yet, or has that decision been made as far as what we're going to do with that? And
as far as the women's division, yeah, that's 100% going to happen.
Women's lightweight, right?
Lightweight, yes. Okay. Yep.
All right. So basically you're building a division around her. I know she's pretty stern in her decision that she doesn't want to cut weight, but because featherweight is the last weight class that's highlighted for the ladies over at Bellator and the UFC,
right?
Was it hard to make that decision? You know, like to not convince her to do that, or
no?
It was stand out from those two.
It wasn't hard at all, to be honest. I think Kayla, her original plan was to eventually go down to 145. But when she fought at 155, she seemed to be comfortable there, and right now she's a wrecking machine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That being said, she's going to face, you know, bigger and better opponents, and so it really there hasn't been a 155 division for the women, and there are some big ladies out there. I mean that in the most positive way.
In the athletics speak.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I mean, there's going to be a lot of 145ers that cut a lot of weight. They probably want to fight at 55.
But the UFC just had a 145
title
reality show, right? They had 8
okay.
ladies. Yes, correct. And it ended with a title. And right away, some of them are already dropping to 35. That's why I was wondering, are there that many ladies that can fill out? I guess you're looking for 12 for the regular season, finishing out with 8. Is there a quality amount out there that we don't know at 155?
There is a few. There's a girl out of she's actually now living in the States, out of New Zealand, Jenna, who is a world kickboxing champion, and now I think she's 2 or 3-0 as an MMA fighter, but she has a lot of kickboxing experience, and you know, again, any stand-up fighter they have to learn how to scramble. They have to learn defend a takedown. If they can do those two things, you know, they're going to be okay. They could hang with a lot of people.
Was that the girl we met in, or I met in Arizona?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's about 5'10", I think.
Yeah.
She's tall, big girl. And I see her on pass. She hits hard. So I mean, there's some girls. There's a couple of Russian ladies that are sambo world champions that also looking to come into that division. So no, there's a few good female fighters at that weight class.
Mm-hmm. Urena Bars, I think about her too.
Yeah.
Urena Bars is the last. She's undefeated in Muay Thai. She fought Chris Cyborg on Access TV a few years ago. She defeated Chris
Ray
Cyborg.
and I watched that fight. We were there.
She's a tall Dutch kickboxer.
Oh yeah,
we were there for that fight.
Right.
She's
Hard Rock, right?
I think.
Yeah, it was on Line Fights.
Mm-hmm. Is she fighting MMA now?
She has.
She has.
But I don't know if she has in a while. But I know that she has. She?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's another good name. Because Brad's right. Real tall lady. So I mean, give me a call.
Breaking news: Ali Abdelaziz has just signed Urena Bars. All right,
100%.
All right, we got to take a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
They can drink Mentos-flavored Diet Coke without their stomachs giving a single fuck. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
We've got a packed house here. We got UFC middleweight Brad Tavares here in studio with us, and we also have the president of PFL, Ray Sefo. All right, real quick, Brad, I don't think we covered it, but when do you think we'll see you fight next? When do you think you'll be 100% ready to start a camp and take on a fight? Are we looking at spring, summer, fall of 2019?
Hopefully I can get something lined up by like April, May. So January 7th, I go back to the doctor for my checkup. This will be the second time I've seen the doctor since I've had the surgery. So hopefully all the stars align, everything is well, and they clear me to go back to training January 7th, which is next Monday.
Is there a particular name you're looking to mix it up with, or at this point, do you just
honestly, at this point, I just want to get back in the gym.
I understand.
It's literally been, 6 months, I think? July. Yeah, I think 6 months. And I'm just eager to get back in there and get back to, training with the boys and freaking grinding again.
And Ray, Season 2's already started. You're already fielding the calls on January 15th. You imagine that that's the date where you'll let the world know who is fighting and at what divisions. If you do bring the ladies lightweight, which it sounds like you are, will that be at the cost of another division, or are you going to add divisions? Like, are you going to have 7 versus what you had this year, 6, or has that decision been made?
That decision hasn't been finalized yet. There is talks of the ladies division being added, or again, that hasn't been finalized.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the UFC's fallout, apparently the flyweight division's just going to go away. Has that even come on your guys' radar? Like exploring with bantamweights and flyweights, knowing there might be an abundance of talent out there that the UFC is, No, I don't think we're going to go down that far in terms of. I think right now we're going to stick with the weight classes that we have already. Again, 2020, that would probably be changed because right now, 2020, we're looking at making it 16 guys per division. And this is what I mean. Like, it never stops. You know what I mean? We're already talking about 2020 and it's 2019 now already. So, yeah, that's still. I don't think we're going to add flyweight or bantamweight this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about the people you report to, your bosses, I guess, or the people that you have to answer to? What was their impression of the season and Monday nights, the championship?
Well, some of our, like Don, who's our, chairman of the board and also one of our partners. I mean, he just loved the whole show. He sat right next to me through the whole show, and just loved it. Everybody, I know that. Since the show and throughout the show, there was a lot of texts from everybody saying how the show looked great on TV. They loved every
TV partners happy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Ali was on our show about a week ago, right?
Wasn't it Monday?
And he said, man, PFL's got some big stuff coming up in 2019.
Yeah.
He kept it in the vault. It wasn't his business to release it, but it's our job to push a needle.
Is
there anything you can tease us with?
That's rare because Ali would tell you everything.
Well, he told us some stuff related to his client base for sure. Yeah. He was releasing some good nuggets. But what can we've been hanging on to this for about a week or two now, and I'm just anxious. What can you lead us in the way of maybe of a tease, or can you divulge anything in 2019? Because it sounds like just great things are coming, and we can't wait.
Yeah, no, yesterday, I spoke to Miko Krokop. He called me, and then we ended up also texting. And I just signed a heavyweight out of Croatia.
Satoshi Ishii?
No.
Oh, another one?
Another one. Matter of fact, he happens to train with Satoshi and Krokop and whatnot. Okay. There's some good heavyweights that's coming on board. I think there's probably at least 4 to 5 new heavyweights that will be added to the season 2019 this year.
I thought maybe you were going to say Krokop versus Sefo Part 2.
He doesn't want any of this.
Oh. Would you do it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, listen.
He's always training, right? I've seen
right.
Training.
The only problem is, there's a difference between training every day and training for a camp. Everything else just goes out the door. And somebody even tweeted yesterday, already, since Sean O'Connor won, the $1 million. Would you be tempted? I said, you know what? I would love to, but I just don't have the time. That's the thing. Once Brad's back in camp and a few other guys are in camp, I'm coaching as well as running a show. So I just don't have time to put in that kind of energy into a camp, and every second goes by fast. I mean, look, it's the third already.
I know. Crazy. Well, listen, guys, we got to close up because we got to get going. But if this seat is open, if on the 15th you want to share with the world the participants for PFL 2, we'd love to have it. It'd be an honor.
Absolutely.
All right. Congratulations. It was a great season.
Thank you.
And thanks for your frequent visits here. We loved promoting the fights. You guys did an awesome job. Monday night was a home run. We loved it, man.
Thank you.
I know Dan had tears in the Ray Cooper promo. I had tears with Lewis Taylor's daughter, and everything. It was really an awesome night, an awesome season.
Yeah, no, thank you. I thought, the whole PFL season has been great. The whole format has been great. Everybody's responded positively to it. We had over 6.8 million viewers on Facebook, which is really amazing. It's something like 350,000 on TV that night, so it was good.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
And Brad, get healthy, man. Get healthy soon, and if you still have an opening, while you're getting better,
he's going to go to the doctor on the 7th at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's going to call me. He's going to do pads at 11 o'clock.
There you have it. Pretty much how it's going to go. We'll be back tomorrow. We got some big news to announce regarding the radio show. We have happy news and some sad news, but we'll talk about all that when we come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, with replays at 8 p.m. on SiriusXM Eastern. So for Brad and Ray, Dan and Goes, and Danny back east, I'm George. Have a nice day. Go out there and be a champion.